You're standing in a world that is 70% water, an entire planet drenched in blue. But in just 24 hours, your community is tearing itself apart for a single clean drop. This isn't a forecast, it's a post-mortem. And you have to understand how a city can die of thirst while surrounded by water. The problem isn't the water itself, it's the time. The timeline for a total collapse is brutally fast, and it all hinges on one critical mistake made in the first day. A mistake that turns a manageable problem into a fight for survival. Stay with me, and I'll show you exactly what that mistake is and how to make sure you're not the one who makes it. So, let's start with the illusion. We see oceans, lakes, rivers, and we feel safe. But that's a trick of the eye. Of all the water on Earth, less than 1% is actually available for us to use. Let me put it another way. For every 10,000 liters of water on this planet, only about 1.5 liters are in your glass. The rest is either salt or locked away in ice. And that tiny fraction, it's disappearing. In 2023, the world saw its driest year in 3 decades. Major arteries of the planet, like the Mississippi and the Amazon, shriveled to historic lows. The forecast isn't better. By next year, 2/3 of the entire global population could be living under water-stressed conditions. This isn't a slow creep anymore.
It's an acceleration, which brings us to the tipping point, the moment an everyday problem becomes a crisis. The first 24 hours. It starts quietly. Maybe your water pressure is a little low in the morning. You don't think much of it. By midday, the tap sputters. An official notice goes out. A temporary outage, a main break, something routine. Conserve water where you can, they say. And right there, that's when the deadly mistake happens. Almost everyone assumes the taps will turn back on. They wait. They believe the system will fix itself. They might fill a pot or two with water, but they don't fundamentally change their behavior. They are complacent. They believe that tomorrow will be like yesterday. But inside that 24-hour window of complacency, the real disaster is unfolding. The store shelves are being quietly stripped bare of bottled water. The small number of people who are prepared are filling every container they own. While everyone else is waiting for the water to come back, the water is gone. After 24 hours, the official notice changes. The temporary problem is now indefinite.
And that's when the panic hits. But it's too late. The illusion of abundance has shattered, and it took only one day. Now, dehydration sets in. Sanitation starts to fail. Tensions that were simmering just below the surface of the community begin to boil over. This isn't a hypothetical. History shows us that water scarcity leads to violence. It happens when desperation replaces hope. We've seen the warnings in our own backyards. Cities like Flint, like Jackson, where the system people trusted failed them completely. The difference between chaos and survival isn't a basement full of gear. It's recognizing the timeline. It's understanding that the moment the water stops, the clock starts. The solution to the 24-hour mistake is immediate action. Not waiting for permission, not waiting for an official confirmation that things are bad. You treat the first minute of the outage as if it's the beginning of a long-term emergency. You store, you ration, you act. Because in a water crisis, the most dangerous thing isn't the thirst, it's the assumption that someone else has it under control. The truth is, the system we rely on is far more fragile than we imagine. Water is life. Its absence is a countdown. And the only question that matters is, will you hear the clock when it starts ticking?